Well, about that time, mate. What's going down, everyone? My name is Mac here at the MacGyver7 channel, and today we're going to be looking at a huge update. And yes, Cyberpunk 2077 is going to be relisted on all the networks to be sold again. So is this the update that we've been waiting for? We're going to be looking at some patch notes and some brief information for the news that's coming out. And let's go ahead and roll into it for 1.32 that should be coming pretty heavy at a 30 gig install for the majority of consoles. As we jump right over to see where they are on their Reddit, we're going to go ahead and take a leap over to the direct patch notes right over here, which will be linked down below. For some of the quests inside of the space for the oddities, for as far as what they're fixing in the issues in the open package and the objects and changing location. Gig Family Matters also came down to a lot of fixed issues, where Juliet's car could disappear on site and completing the quest, streaming issues with Juliet's house, and on top of that, issues that wasn't possible to enter Juliet's house if the player did not meet either of the requirements. Heist also came down to another requirement point of several fixes from Jackie that could go through the glass like he was some kind of awesome freaking specter. You can see the situation of preventing some of the guards from attacking the other players. On top of that, there were issues that were search and the Arkansas officer for as far as the object could remain active after fulfilling it. Issues where the merc did not spawn in the lobby, and where we can also see some points in the guard could not clip through the door for, again, the Arkansas. And where you can see the portions of the issues of where the guards could spawn on players' sites, and the Arkansas also looks at the officer's body that could be inaccessible, making the players unable to loot and shard and blocking the progression. The Nomad removed unnecessary button promotes on top of the situation with the hunt, the news in the segment, and the shard in the river will now properly play audio. The Beast in Me fixed the portion of the progression that could be blocked inside the player's left for Claire after the Santo Domingo race was too early. Queens of the Highway fixed the portions where the clip was going through the tree. On top of the down street portions, we had the non-quest related dialogue options when talking to Wakako. And looking at the forward to death, smoke and dust will no longer flicker when riding. Now on top of the gig Goodbye Night City, you can see that the fixed issues were progressions could be blocked after recruiting Bruce if the player is called. On top of the situation where the fixed issues were V could get stuck in a AV if they stood at the landing spot before it arrived. The gig No Fixer fixed an issue for the portion of the possibilities to open doors in the Dakota garage on top of the end of the quest. Fixed an issue where the Iris could teleport instead of walking. On top of the situation, you are getting warmer for the gig. You can see the issues for the fixed car that could drive straight through the intersection instead of turning right. You also look at the issues that promote the coolant on the situation still being plugged out on the braking animations. You also look at the situations with the possible same mission in the pickup for the 8 geared, and the situation for the NPCs spawning underneath the blocking progression. Many ways to skin a cat is the other gig that comes across, and where the notifications from the Regina regarding this gig could appear during the heist and fixed an issue where it was possibly to connect to the computer after failing the quest and destroying the van, which resulted in the players getting stuck. Progression block, no more hopefully. On top of the issues where the progressions could get stuck on the go to the Revere courier and the service facilities on top of the objects. the cyber psycho sites where the bodies would hit the floor, and we're going to scroll down to see even more as the issues came down to the collecting of information in the next objects and sending to Regina would appear. Now it will appear, the wouldn't is no longer. On top of the cyber psycho, for as far as the sight on deaf ears, fixed an issue where after collecting the information, the next object to send it to Regina would appear. Fought the law. The law comes down to the point of issues where the river would not present at the meeting spot after and before entering the Red Queen race. For as far as the portions of the gameplay that fixed an issue after killing an NPC and stealing their car, their body would get stuck in the car. And we scroll down to see that the Atom Smasher will no longer receive damage during the animation between the attack phases. Fixed issues where the dropped NPC bodies caused too much destruction inside of the portion of cyberware, now working properly. Visuals with Johnny and the Spectre appearance in various quests, issues related to clipping and NPC clothing, and appearances of the Rock and the Badlands in the pickup. Fixed issues for as far as where the Maelstormer was T-positioned, and the stability and performance. Numerous crashes inside of the animations, the UI, the scenes, the physics, the gameplay, pretty much the whole damn thing, and the memory inside of the management, which they've been harping on for pretty much all of this new generation, that they're utilizing stuff that's beyond 8 gigabytes of RAM. And you see that there are some issues for as far as crashes that hopefully they're starting to dial in for various CPUs in the optimization and the memories and the IOs, leading to fewer instances on the NPCs in the identical portion of spawning on certain portions that were causing these. Now as we go down and we see some specific stuff, PlayStation is definitely not on that list, which is interesting, but we also see that the PC portions was that the fix wasn't possible to click the upgrade while players were utilizing the 720p, on top of the issues that were toggling in the Windows full screen with the Alt-Enter made it appear unresponsive, and the stream portion for as far as the default in the language in the stream client. A pop-up message to ask verify in the portion of game data will now display the incomplete or corrupted data if detected. Xbox fixes some issues, but not a lot as much as PC did for as far as signing out during the scene and the fade out that could result in partial and unresponsive portions. And you can also see that the fixed issue with the pause menu would open again in its own Xbox guided pause menu without any, like it was possessed almost a little bit. But these are issues that now have been polished out. So everyone, if you're newer to the network, you can always like, share, and subscribe. Absolutely free, helps me out as a creator. And if you do today, who knows? Maybe Cyberpunk will continue to start acting good updates, because this seemed really direct, to the point, and really structured. But the question is, did it really change anything? For most people that are out there that are playing it, definitely leave a comment down below. I'll be doing a follow-up stream with a brand new patch just to see how well it goes for as far as some bugs that I noticed in the last one, which I shelved it because it was almost playable, but it was mainly the mechanics, and that probably fell into a lot of what they just completely altered with the way the systems were responding, because that was something that was a very brass all across the system points, that yeah, the game's just acting like it's got gremlins. But everyone, have a very nice day, and I'll see you guys and gals in the near future for more patch and game related news.